Greetings, my name's Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. Welcome back to Sunless Sea. Last time, we helped Rosina restore herself to health via the aid of the incredible boringness of Visage's customs. Yes, seriously, that's how it happened. Then we got a bit of a bonus to our irons, and sadly discovered that the that the bonus to the stats from this place wasn't actually repeatable, and thus my genius strategy to get loads of stats for free is not actually possible, alas. But anyways, now it's time to go to the Undercrow. I'll stop by Frostbound first to get rid of some of this terror. But yeah, then we go to the Undercrow, and in order to check up on another member of the Seven. One who, like Lorenzo, probably won't actually be joining us. So we probably will have to find a replacement for him. But he's got a whole storyline to himself that I should probably do. I've been part of it already. A whole delivering letters for him. I wonder what would happen if I sailed in one of those vortexes. Oh, no time like the present to find out. Oh, fuck. I overshot it. I should have just gone for the other vortex. Okay, absolutely nothing. Good to know. They're just mild annoyances, I guess. Oh, right. There's also this thing that I need to do for fun. Oh, damn it, I need less terror. Alright. Report, and looks like we're going to be farming, and something awaits you here. At least we'll get a bunch of supplies and fuel out of it. And I've just realized that the damn audio hasn't been working this whole time, has it? Damnation. Alright. To fix that. Alright, got the issue sorted. Yeah. Hopefully. Well, it seemed to be working. But, you know, how... Oh, whatever. Here we go. Many things are hidden behind the cold walls, and even greater terrors. The pirate poet wants to face it all alone. What a weird way to say that. Okay, Departure. Hang on. Yeah. Departure. There is no doubt or fear in the eyes of the pirate poet as she leaves towards the mighty fortress. You remain behind and wait at the ship. The missing poet. Hours pass, but no sign of the clay woman. As the day nears its end, it becomes clear that something must have happened. Now it's up to you to find your lost officer. Oh joy. I'll have to go through all this again. Well, time to do what we always do. We utilize Mandom to go back in time 6 seconds into the past to retry the task over and over until it succeeds. And this one be easier. Oh, damn it. I just... Oh, damn it. I forgot that I used the damn element of dawn already. Ah, fuck. Okay. Well then, just have to Here we go. Only took us 2 tries, and that was like a 20% chance of success. Oh yeah. Here we go. Finding your lost officer. The fog is thick, and you stumble around without orientation, when suddenly you see the tall figure of the pirate poet standing between the billows. A vision. You call out to her, but she doesn't react. She just stares at the smooth surface of the ice in front of her. You follow her eyes, expecting to see her reflection, but it's the face of the cooking deviless that is visible on the frozen mirror. Cautiously, you come nearer, and yet neither the pirate poet nor the image of the dead cook react to your presence. After a moment of contemplation, you decide to plant yourself in front of the clay woman, back towards the mirror, to break her gaze, and hopefully that strange trance which holds her captive. Nearly as soon as she isn't able to see the cooking deviless anymore, the pirate poet snaps out of her stupor. "What happened?" she asks, and you give her a short explanation. She stares at you in disbelief. "Hours? It felt like only a few minutes." You both turn once again towards the mirror, but there is nothing to see besides your reflections. "I placed the metal from the Heartsease tonic in a hole in this wall." She gestures to a certain spot, and frowns when she sees that there's already a thick layer of ice covering the dark shape beneath it. "The moment I let go of it, I saw the cooking deviless, and then—" She trails off and shakes her head. "Never mind. Let's talk about this on the ship, before something else happens." Alright. Yes, let's go, shall we? And there's terror again. Alright. An invitation of the pirate poet. The clay woman wants to celebrate the completion of her newest work, The Vessel of Sorrow, with you. Oh, does she now? I'm sure it's perfectly above board. Okay, I was about to say I'm sure this is perfectly innocent, and then I saw the number at which the quality is currently at. Somehow I doubt that now. A meeting. "Of course it is a work of poetry," she says, laughing at the silliness of your question. "The purpose of all poetry, of all art, is to make you feel. What is the vessel of sorrow if not that? When you read the verses, you experience the emotions which created them." She smiles, but then her expression shifts and becomes serious. "However, that wasn't the point of what we did. For me, poetry means freedom, and for the first time since I lost my crew, I finally feel free again. Free of my grief, and free of my duty to honor those who died under my command." Suddenly she smiles, and it's wide and more genuine than ever before. "You have my gratitude for making this possible." "And not only mine, I think," she adds thoughtfully. "Apparently something in Frostfound decided to thank me for our task, because as I placed the Vessel of Sorrow inside the wall, I received a certain kind of gift in return. I wasn't sure at first, but I believe it were memories of the cooking deviless." I would quibble about the grammar, but honestly, that's not proper grammar, but it's something that I could believe the pirate poet would say. "Something she left there at some point in the past, and was now given to me." The pirate poet closes her eyes as if she's concentrating on something. "There is someone in the Iron Republic who is dear to her heart, a person who she called brother, even though I'm not sure if the word has the same meaning for devils. Well, I think, technically speaking, they might all be siblings, so to speak. Complicated business, but yeah. They lost contact to each other because she supported the rebels from Mount Palmerston and he didn't. Nevertheless, I think he would want to know what happened to her." Sorry, the rebels from Mount Palmerston, as in they came from Mount Palmerston, or they're rebelling against Mount Palmerston. Oh, whatever. I guess it was completely innocent despite the quality number. Alright, search for the brother of the cooking deviless in the Iron Republic. Potentially proposition her. Perhaps. Maybe later. For now, though, we go to the Undercrow. Just barely. Alright. Alright, here we go. Bestow the latitudinarian's forgiveness. The almost dead man has less to apologize for than he thought. Just like that. Forgiven? The almost dead man is agape. He insists you repeat the exchange, probing it for falsehood or insincerity. Then he shakes his head with some effort and releases an immense sigh. For a moment, he resembles a bloated, beatific cherub. One final message. First, should probably do this. I asked the almost dead man to rejoin the Seven against Nida. Once he was Lorenzo. Wait, he was Lorenzo? Then who was the other guy? Hang on. Who was the guy in that image? Oh dear God. I'm confusing these people's names now. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Will he be so again? He laughs, and the laugh becomes a wheeze, which becomes a cough, which makes the moss moth stir restlessly behind his ribs. Too late. My time's up, you magnificent bastard. Miriam will have to find another guide. He purses his dried lips. Try the Isle of Cats, his piratical majesty's chiefest claw. Crossed paths with them more than once I did. Almost had me that time, Isery. Almost had me that time. Almost had me that last time. Isery, that's their name. He remembers one more thing. And if you have better luck this time, it's good to be... And if you have better luck this time, it'd be good to be remembered. I don't need an arch or a statue. Just carve my name on Nidal's bones. That'll do me. Alright, Isery, the Isle of Cats. But first, one final letter. One last message. The almost dead man clutches it to his chest. The third letter. She was... The man's voice catches. With a trembling hand, he caresses the decorated R on the seal. I never should have left her. The old man's fingers are loath to release the letter. When they do, the moth trembles in his chest. The incomparable Aurelian has the decency to look away. I'll share tales of the outside with the almost dead man. Ah, you magnificent bastard, he rasps. Humor an old man. Tell me of your journeys. I don't know what the dying grace stuff does. The almost dead man is not easy to impress. Though the Aurelian goggles at your tale, his mentor only gives a grizzled nod. Not bad, he allows. Saw a thing or two myself in my youth. The desert of eyes. The listening desert. The desert of delights. Nida on the mountain's side, with her domes of basalt and porphyry. All these will be lost, like tears in the rain. Or something like that. Report. Anything to say? Nothing new. Alright. Now. Sure, why not? Read the letter to Anne. It would be a shame not to. My dearest Rosina, from your Lorenzo. The letter is sincere, passionate, explicit. It's hard to tell which of these are frantic acts performed in the excitement of battle, and which are imagined flourishes. The letter speaks with more than lust. It recalls Rosina's ministrations after an accident, and a bone hollowness after parting. It ends with a joke it trusts the reader to understand. You do not. Alright, so we'll go to Anth, then probably back to the Undercrow, and then all the way over to the Isle of Cats, and also the Iron Republic, since we might as well swing there. What the fuck is this? I see like a bit of brimstone or something down there. What a random thing to be. I wonder if it has any significance or if it's just a random bit of stuff. Oh, just remembered. Forgot to turn back on the music. After Frost found. Excuse my buggery. Oh, Fluke's needles. A cluster of quivering spines shiver in the current. A dead fluke's flesh dissolves in water. These brittle remnants, however, remain stony hard. Ooh, something stuck on the spines. An unfortunate diver? Bones hang, impaled on the decaying spines. You don your diving gear. Your crew watch from the observation deck as you reach for the skeleton, speared like a hooked fish. Your mind fills with song, solemn, echoing, watery, faltering, like the last notes of a baritone drowning in his bath. You know you will never see that place where you sang of your shameful disgrace. Your crew reel you back inside and pry the skull from your hands. Gradually, your ears empty of song. Do you remember came to that place? Sang of her antlers and shameful disgrace. I certainly don't. I hardly remember the words to that. Alright. I'll need to get some more sharpness of spleen. Whatever. Alright, deliver a love letter to Rosina. She smiles at the author's name. A letter savored. Rosina reads slowly. After a sentence or two, she looks in your direction. Her expression is fierce, as though you were talking in church. You step away into the other room until she is ready for you to return. When you do, she says, "Return to Lorenzo and give him my love. It's too late for me to assist Lorenzo, if I ever could. But if you do happen to see what is born from him, it will be worth remembering." Alright. Let's go then. I could cut away my sharpness and gain a wound, but no, I'm gonna have to swing by Polyroom at some point anyways. And I'm fairly certain these have no actual effect in it. Well, alright. Back to the Undercrow. Oh, that's a lot of lights. Nice. Foundling. Oh yeah, those. Unclear what this is, but our engineer assures us it'll burn. You're gonna burn, alright. The tide of teeth? Your bow light illuminates an uncountable school of eyeless, pale fish. A sailor pauses, fascinated by their pearly scales. He watches as the fish form silent ranks, rows upon rows of them, like a shark's jaws closing around you. What kind of beasts are these? Not important. Survival is more pressing than taxonomy. Through a pearly forest, the rows close around you like daggers of bone, pearly fish battering themselves to death against your hull. You steer wildly for a sheltering reef, where your pursuers gouge the coral in their attempt to reach you. A thin filament stretches from the skull of each fish, threading away into the dark towards a single point. Eventually, the school turns its attention elsewhere. It disappears in the darkness as if tugged away by an unseen puppeteer. They leave behind a single wriggling member of their school, burrowed headfirst into an outcrop of coral, a severed gossamer thread dangling behind it. Ah! Oh, okay, I thought I was gonna run right into it, but apparently you can't. Alright. Recount Rosina's response to the almost dead man. Well, first we'll do this, why not? Share a familiar flavor. Wait, I thought I deposited most of these dark chopped coffee beans. Oh, I probably deposited it and then it didn't save or something stupid like that. Oh well. Regardless. Is that coffee I smell? Could I trouble you for a cup? In his eye, you recognize the desperation of an addict. Now I'm reconsidering. Oh well. A cup well savored. The dimness of age and mushroom smoke fades from his eye. Ah, blood of the elder continent. All that's missing is a bright horizon, sapphire streams, and Nidaheen to kill. He rummages at the back of the cave until he finds a memento of his youthful incautions. Just a knick-knack, he rattles, pressing it into your hands with his brittle fingers. Payment for the coffee. Alright, recount Rosina's response to the almost dead man. What did she say? Eagerness is unbecoming on a bulbous cadaver. Tell him quickly. Giddy as an almost dead schoolboy. His wheezing turns to laughter. Even the Aurelian shares his smile. For a moment, the damp cave has the warmth of home. Alright. Observe a private moment. A hushed conversation between the incomparable Aurelian and his aging master. A moment demanding reverence and privacy, or at least discreet eavesdropping. Deathbed confessions. The almost dead man's voice is barely a whisper. His friend bends low to hear it. I found the path the others followed. We meant to retrieve what Nida stole and share it with all, but... Instead, the mountain gave me a gift of its own. You won't pin it in one of your displays, will you? The Aurelian can barely stifle a damp laugh. Of course not, sir. No spreading board could hold you. Alright. Attend to the hatching. The almost dead man's breathing has faded to a rattle. Joylessly, the incomparable Aurelian says, It's time. At long last. The passage is gentle, but not without horrors. You ensure that pain is kept to a minimum, while the incomparable Aurelian sits by the old man's side, taking notes in one hand and holding his mentor's hand with the other. There's almost no thrashing, and once everything is still, and translucent wings quiver in the cave's smoke, the notebook is filled. Lorenzo's face is serene and empty. Feathered antennae brush across it. Multifaceted eyes regard you with curiosity. Wordlessly, the incomparable Aurelian hands you a small velvet bag as payment, then returns to meticulously reproducing every scale of the moth's wings in a new notebook. Lorenzo has shed his life. You gained a secret! Alright, deal with what's left behind. Lorenzo the moth stretches its scaled wings, lazily. The incomparable Aurelian continues his sketches, without a thought of his old master's corpse shell. Drawn to the fire. Reluctantly, the Aurelian closes his notebook. If I keep the lighthouse fire burning, I could observe you for a lifetime, he tells the moth, but there's a final matter of his to deal with. He turns to the crumpled remains of the almost dead man. His brother, the factor at Port Demu, will want something to bury. He can make do with this husk. This cocoon, I suppose. With a rush of wind, the moth flies up into the fog, circling the fire and casting flickering patterns onto the cave walls. Alright. Discuss Lorenzo's passing. You know that moths are not actually drawn to fire. Or light, even. Yeah, the reason why they seem to be is because they actually navigate via the stars and light and will confuse this navigation. Or something like that. The incomparable Aurelian sits on the stone table that was his friend's deathbed, listlessly staring at his collection. A quiet celebration. Without looking up, the incomparable Aurelian tells you that your assistance has been appreciated. Studying the moth so closely will be the highlight of my career, he says excitedly. I'm sure Lorenzo would want to thank you as well. Looking up from his book of pressed moth, the incomparable Aurelian fixes you with his stare. A fate worse than death? I don't believe there's such a thing. Lorenzo came to the Nath looking for a way to cheat death. I can't say whether or not he succeeded. Tell him Lorenzo triumphed. Some part of him eluded death. He lives on. An honest death. What a joke. That's as much a joke as dying with dignity. Utter retardation. It's just a comforting lie people tell themselves. A soporific, so to speak. A triumph over death, albeit a messy one. Life is unreliably pleasant, but it's better than the alternative. Yes, always. Lorenzo found a way to prolong it. It was, after all, why he came to the Nath. The incomparable Aurelian sighs. He has a new life now. Maybe a happier one. Well, I don't know about that. He closes his collection book with a quiet smile. Nothing is worse than death. Indeed. Yes. Without fail. No matter what the fate is. Barring, of course, death and also some other terrible stuff happening to you. That's just life, really. But yeah. Whatever the situation is, whatever the horrors. Nothing at all is worse than death. People try to think that they're being oh so mature and clever about face worse than death, but really all they're actually doing is just hiding from the true horror of death by acting like they're worse things. But really, it should be obvious that people have no idea what is actually what is actually worse than anything else. I mean, some people genuinely think that the stars, the judgments themselves, are lesser villains than like the Bazaar or the Masters of the Bazaar, what have you. Utterly ridiculous. I mean, the Masters of the Bazaar have done some terrible shit, but it is absolutely nothing. They have in their worst days, in their worst years, cannot even approach the tiniest fraction of the evil that the judgments perpetuate every second. That is the sheer scale of evil in the world. But people just aren't really good with scale like that. Anyways, deliver Lorenzo's remains to the factor. The affable factor receives his brother's coffin solemnly. You counsel against looking within. A moth, you say? Can't say it was how he'd have wanted to go, but I don't think he ever intended to go at all. The affable factor sighs and lights his pipe. The fungal smoke is all too familiar. Knew he'd meet a bad end with that lot. Is there any other kind? Too much stirring up trouble. Not enough enjoying what they'd got. 7's an unlucky number, if you ask me. He rests a hand on the coffin. Thank you anyway. I'll do something appropriate with him. Alright then. Let's see, what's that? What's this? A shadowy predator. It's the little things. The click of a sliding stone where there should be silence. A motion in the shadows. As if they were thick stirred like ink. A lull in the cries of the zebra. Something is watching you, drawing closer hour by hour. You and your crew draw back to back, watching the darkness. Captured alive. This can be tricky. A contest of cunning. You employ ruses, stratagems, and a cruel choice of bait, harrying the thing through the archipelagic midnight until it collapses into your trap with a hoarse screech. You bind it with chains and blankets and force it into a triple-locked cage. It snaps its folding assemblies of jaws. Its many-jointed limbs creak as it strains against its bonds. Its eyes brim with primal rage. Excellent. It'll be worth an echo or 10. Alright. I guess we'll swing by London. Might as well. It looks so weird when they're standing still. Alright. The brother of the cooking deviless. There isn't much of a search to find the brother of the cooking deviless. The feet of the pirate poet seem to remember the way, despite never taking it before. In the end, you find yourselves standing in front of an elegant man with deep green eyes. Loss and condolence. The pirate poet explains to the green-eyed demon the reason why you're here, how she knew the cooking deviless and what happened to her. Revenge. Her tone is soft and soothing, but her opposite gives neither a reaction of anger nor of sadness. He merely listens, and despite one or two questions, stays silent. A king with 100 hearts killed my sister because she supported you in your renegade clayman? He asks, after the pirate poet finished her explanation. She nods and says nothing, and he says nothing for a while. Uneasiness befalls you at the thought that he might blame your officer and you for the death of his family member, but then the green-eyed demon breaks your musings. I heard of you, he says to the pirate poet. A clay woman defying her king and fighting for freedom. Your progress, however, seems rather limited. That's to be expected if you don't even dare to attack your enemy. The pirate poet's face darkens, but her voice is calm when she answers. Disobedience is the only way of resistance in this war. The king with 100 hearts is the only one who's able to create clayman. An attack on his life would be an attack against all of us, and would receive an according reaction. The threat is unmistakable, and your hand instantly wanders to your sword. Ah yes. This is a problem, the green-eyed demon says, ignoring all signs of hostility. Luckily for you, I might have a solution for this. You see, if there's one thing devils know everything about, it's souls. Well, not everything. Delicious little things, and very versatile. Yeah, they probably don't actually eat them, but they do know how... They are quite good at tasting them. That's actually because they used to serve the judgments. They were the ones that collected souls for them to eat, so they know how to detect their taste and such. They know how to season them properly. But anyways, and very versatile, which is one of the many reasons why people beside us devils try to steal them. Souls come with a whole baggage of extras, and more often than not, some of these things pass on to the thief who absorbs the souls. This includes memories, emotions, and, most importantly, abilities. Claymen don't have the same souls as humans, the pirate poet interrupts, but the green-eyed demon just waves his hand. Yes, but the basics are the same. They certainly would know. They've harvested more than just human souls. Bring me a watchful curio, a searing enigma, a judgment's egg, and a dozen devil-bone dice. Dices? Dice is already plural! And 7 Stygian ivory, and I will build you something, which will not only destroy your oppressor, but grant you the ability to create a new generation of free claymen. Okay. It feels a bit weird to have him specifically spell out all these stuff, especially stuff like watchful curio and stuff. Feels weird for him to be using that. I don't know. Alright, Judgment's Egg, have that. Searing Enigma, have that. Watchful Curio, probably have that. 12 Double Dice, probably don't have that. 7 Stygian Ivory. Brother the King Devilish. Yeah, and Reflect. Okay. Yeah, have that. Don't have those two. Don't have a Watchful Curio. Darn. Well, that's a problem for another day. Anyways. No more business here. Let's go. Now let's pick up a bit of fuel. Alright, to the Isle of Cats. It's just made me feel a bit more sluggish all of a sudden. Oh, probably because... Port Cavendish. Alright. Port. Here we go. Invite Isery to join the 7 against Nidar. Given Lorenzo's misfortune, you find yourselves in need of a new guide. You broach the subject with delicacy. There is a light in Isery's eyes that you would not describe as reassuring. Isery is somewhat acquainted with Nidar and the 7 from the memories of the well-traveled notary. You fill in the gaps, but leave enough unsaid to entice. Isery considers your offer carefully. I am intrigued, of course, and flattered. Who would not be? For the stakes are high, and the prey inconceivably dangerous. I am selective in my alliances, you magnificent bastard. They lean back, considering you. But of course, since we're already... accept Isery's compliment, and admit them to the 7. Isery's opinion of you is high. You have proven yourself exemplary. I accept. You reminisce about your association thus far, and the possibilities of your future alliance. Isery is eager to make himself useful to the 7. I'll begin gathering what information I can about Nidar and its environs. Travelers from the outer continent tend to be circumspect, but my bees won't care. Leaning close, Isery kisses your cheek with unmistakable warmth. To immortality. Indeed. Well, that was easy. And... you know what? Before I end the episode, I could just end it here, and it's a reasonable length already, but before I do that, as well go and get the stuff for the Iron Republic. Be back in a bit. Oh yeah, since we're going this way, might as well swing my polybeam for the merciless Mediste stuff. And also get rid of this. There you go. Oh. That's peculiar. I think I broke that. Whoops. Alright. Hunt clothes colonies with the Mediste. Their abundance of life offers many artistic possibilities. A thinness of resolve. The Mediste stalks her prey past chittering rocks and wailing pools, living shirts, walking trousers, a lonely left shoe seeking a partner. All immediately rip and tear at even her exploratory cuts and stitches, their strange zest gone like the popping of a soap bubble. This will not do, she declares, discarding another reject. Clearly I must petition the king. If it is in his power to animate these miserable rags, he can certainly do a better job. Excuse me, Captain. I shall return presently. Guess she already returned. Hang on. Where is she? Ah. Check on the Mediste. Let's see. Unlock this no more than 0 times the power. What? What do you mean 0 times the power poet? Oh no. I think I might have broken something. No more than 80 knots. What? Okay, clearly there's somewhere there. There's clearly something to do with the Pirate Poet storyline there. Maybe it would be better to hold off on that until I've already done the Pirate Poet storyline. I have no idea. This is uncharted waters for me. Because remember, I didn't actually... I had a whole thing where the fucking Pirate Poet for playthrough for a while just wasn't working for me. Oh, that reminds me. I gotta bring him... Gotta make up something wonderful for him. And this, well... Alright, here we go. You didn't come all the way to waste some time with the truth. You know enough from the wildwood to invent a persuasive tale of blood and courage. Name heroes and give them suitable ends. Let them adorn his bones with wonderful lies. He glows with pride. I knew it, he confides. Your tale matches what's in my heart. I will commemorate it with my knife. It will give our hunters strength and purpose. Thank you, my friend. I'll see you again. And I'll send you something. Depend upon it. Yep. Reduced diplomacy London. It's a surprise tool that'll help us later. Alright, here we go. A revolutionary's weapon. Good, good. This will suffice, the green-eyed demon says. Why is there an extra comma there? Give me an hour and you won't be disappointed. Come on. This is like really basic mistakes that any like even a cursory proofreading would show. God damn. And then we still with the paragraph thing. I mean, come on. Put some damn effort into this. Like these are really this is really basic stuff that doesn't really take much effort and drastically improves the readability of it. Come on, man. As a writer myself, albeit, I mean, I'm not even much of a writer, and I get this stuff right. It's disappointing. Ironically, considering what he was saying. A sinister curio. Almost exactly 60 minutes later, the green-eyed demon returns with a surprisingly normal-looking curio. Transferring a soul is easy to learn, but hard to master. If an amateur like you two would try to steal a soul all by yourselves, you wouldn't be able to control which parts of the soul will pass on to you, and which not. This curio, however, will help you with this. It's adjusted to specifically target the abilities and destroy everything else. Destroy everything else, the pirate poet asks. Yes, if we would also transfer other things, we would risk to turn you into a copy of the King with 100 Hearts. Abilities are neutral enough for that not to happen, the green-eyed demon explains. Don't worry, he adds. That won't affect the soul and its functionality. It will fit together with your own without any trouble. Soulless beings are unaffected by the curio, the devil continues, and places the sinister curio in a wooden box before handing it to the pirate poet. But the first being to touch it who has a soul will be ripped apart. All you have to do afterwards is to hold the curio directly in front of your eyes, and its contents will be passed on to you. Passed on you, rather, which is a radical error. After that, the curio will just be a simple piece of stone. Questions? The green-eyed demon asks, and when there are none, it nods. Good. I hope you won't disappoint me and my sister, because if you do, the King with 100 Hearts himself will execute your punishment. Alright. You know, an eye-watering price, but it's a trap! Cue the Admiral Akbar. Alright. Battle plan. Let's see. Interesting. You meet up with the pirate poet in her cabin to talk about what is going to happen once you reach Polythrene. A risky strategy. It's probably no accident that the green-eyed demon use a curio for this, the pirate poet muses. The King with 100 Hearts is known to give them additional life if one asks him for it. The problem is that both of us have to be present the moment he takes hold of it. You raise an eyebrow as she says that she wants to come with you to the king's palace. After all, the pirate poet is a wanted criminal in Polythrene. What? You think you can do this alone? The moment the King with 100 Hearts dies, a whole island of angry claymen will be after you. If I'm not there immediately to take his place, you're as good as dead. She scoffs. You underestimate me to your detriment. And to hear I almost found you attractive. I just hope the other claymen will listen to me when I carry the king's soul. The pirate poet and you think for some time of the task of both of you being present, when everything will happen, and discuss different options. In the end, there seems only one possibility left for the pirate poet, to be there too. You will have to bring me there as a prisoner, and as your reward for catching me, you will demand to watch how the King with 100 Hearts turns the curio into a wakeful idol. To be sure that he won't be unfaithful to his word, he will also insist on seeing the procedure before handing me over. At your incredulous stare, the pirate poet sighs. Yes, I know there are a million things which can go wrong, but honestly, do you have a better idea? She gives you a short moment to say something, and when you don't, she continues. I mean, we could always, I don't know, sneak in. I mean, I've snuck into wisdom. I can sneak into the Clay Palace. See, it's true. It's true, I ask a lot from you, but this might be the best chance for my people to finally be free. We have to do this. Please. Taken aback by the fact that the notorious clay corsair in front of you actually said please, you stumble a second to give your answer, but in the end you promise your support. After all that happened, how could you not? Suppose. Alright. So, next time, we bring revolution to the Polydream, and then we return to Miriam and bring revolution to Nida. Boy, this is just the season of revolutions, isn't it? Well then. This has certainly been a productive day. We've ferried letters, we've taken the first steps upon revolution, we've given our due to the dead, and we've gotten the 6th of the 7. Next time, things really kick off. Until then, I have been Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And remember, dislike the video, unsubscribe if you're for some reason subscribed, and leave a nasty comment in the comment section down below. So long. Suckers.